Rob,
good to see you.
Good to see you, mate.
Likewise.
So for the viewers back home, Jared did do an interview with yourself, Rob, last year at Gamescom. You spoke quite a lot around AMS and obviously AccelByte as a whole. But for those people at home that haven't seen that interview, do you want to give us a quick introduction, obviously, to yourself, quick rundown of AccelByte and AMS as a platform?
Happy to. So Rob Schoeppe, I am the Chief Commercial Officer at AccelByte. I've been in the games industry for a little over 20 years now. It's my 21st GDC this year, so it's kind of a milestone. AccelByte, we provide games backend as a service. So what that means is we remove all the undifferentiated heavy lifting when customers want to make an online connected game. We now offer a complete self-service version of our platform where customers can get started for free. So they come to our website, they sign up, 90 days for free. After 90 days, it's $100 a month, and they can really focus on making the most creative game possible. We'll take all the heavy lifting of managing the back-end infrastructure and making sure they're successful.
Amazing, amazing. And obviously the back end is it's a hell of a lot of work for developers to have to maintain, and the fact that you can alleviate a lot of that time, they can focus on what they really want to do, and just that's great, a great game.
So AMS, AccelByte Multiplayer Servers, used to be a core component of our back-end service, and so it was an add-on feature. That meant that you had to come in and use our core service, and then you would have to activate the game server portion, but it was still tightly coupled to the main platform. Earlier this year, we announced that we completely removed it and decoupled it from the core platform. So now customers can just use the multiplayer server product. So what AMS is, it is a server orchestration system, and it's built for game developers by game developers. And so within our leadership team, our product and engineering team, I want to say there's over 100 years of games experience combined across that team. And they really focus on making sure that they can make the best orchestration platform for game servers as possible and remove a lot of the unnecessary work from the developer hands. And so this year, like I said, we decoupled it from the core platform. We also took the step to make it hybrid cloud. And so what that means is we want to really focus on customer choice and make sure that customers can get the best cost available when they're launching their cloud product. So we give them the option when they come in. We have our admin portal. They can obviously choose Servers.com for their bare metal, and then they can flex through cloud. And so mostly what we tell customers is when they're coming to AMS, they're very cost sensitive, especially in today's industry environment. And so when they come to us, they say, okay, well, what's the best way to save cost? And I usually say, okay, take your baseline commitment, so the amount of usage that you're really sure you're going to have, run that on bare metal and work with Servers.com. And then if you're going to have any kind of spiky usage based on a promotion or event that's happening that weekend, then we can help them flex beyond that using cloud, whether that be AWS or Microsoft Azure. And so again, we really want to make sure that we're giving customer choice, making it super simple. And one of the best quotes that I got this year from one of our engineering customers, he came to me and he said, I just launched an entire fleet from my phone while picking my kid up from school.
Amazing.
We just want to make it simple.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I mean again, developers having that flexibility whilst alleviating a lot of the time and the costs associated with that really is a huge headache. That because at the end of the day, people just want to play great games, fun games, and if developers can spend more time focusing on that core concept, then I think we're going to see more and more successful games coming out this year.
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, there's obviously a lot of games that come out every year, but in our industry, there's an ebb and flow. And this year, past couple of years, we're kind of in that ebb where everyone's just risk adverse, and they're bringing everything in-house. They really want to focus on cost. They want to make sure that they're giving the best experience. And so our goal is to make sure that we can cover costs for them, make sure that the end player has the best experience possible, providing the lowest latency server infrastructure anywhere in the world, and get them started quickly, because at the end of the day, I want to go home and play those games that they're making.
Yeah. I think something as well people need to remember when we're talking about the cost savings. It's not necessarily during development and initially at launch. It's usually when a game, if it does super successful, it's actually planning for that that high levels of success. That's where you really see the vast majority of costs being saved. When you're spinning up thousands of VMs in the cloud, that's when it can get extremely costly very fast.
Yeah, and it's a forecasting problem, right? Our games industry is hit-based, so no one really knows what's going to happen. And so many game developers come to me and they say, I'm going to have 1 million CCU at launch. Awesome, that's a great thing to go for, but the probabilities are not.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to manage risk as much as possible. And so that's where we say, again, make sure that you cover your baseline, which is usually a very conservative view. Cover that baseline with bare metal and then flex to the cloud because you want to save that cost. Also in the development phase, you're still out there doing play testing, you're doing load testing. That's cost that happens as well. And especially in the development phase, before the game has even come out, developers are really cost conscious because they don't want to go out and spend, say, $1 million load testing their game with no actual players or revenue. Mm-hmm. And so we really make sure that we're helping them optimize for those play tests, for those load tests, make sure they're as successful as possible, and then they can also use that data to help forecast what the actual player demand is going to be.
Yeah, and like you said, no one's got a crystal ball, so we can only do our best job, right, trying to work that out. But having utilizing AccelByte and with those tools to best equip developers for that success is really key. Vital.
Yep.
Awesome. You mentioned a few things as well when you spoke to Jared last time around your predictions for this year. I think one of them was around AI, and another one, if I recall, was around, I think, just development in games in general. But obviously, things change. What do you see 2025 to be? Any predictions for this year?
Everyone keeps on asking me that. I just say, if I really knew, I'd be retired and have an island, maybe some pirates. I don't know, but what I'm seeing in all the conversations that I've been having this week, AI is still very prevalent and very relevant in all the conversations. I actually advised for a few AI companies this week where they're just asking, what is the use case that they should go after? So I think right now from an AI perspective, it's becoming less of a buzzword and people are really trying to understand what is that practical use case and then how can they apply that to their own business. So us as an example, we rolled out AI for our platform earlier this year as well, but we're using it for support. And what that means is traditionally customers would come to us and they would say, here's a question. And I would have to send a person off and understand context of what the problem was, what is their game, what is their environment, what kind of server they're using. And that could take anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks to get them the answer. We then took AI, we trained it on our entire documentation portal. Now the customer can go and put a prompt to the AI and say, here's my thing. AI knows all the context, knows all the issues, can serve up the answer within minutes, and then provide them code samples to get them started quickly. And so I think there's practical use cases for AI coming out now.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we're just the same. We're trying to figure out how to leverage them and make sure that we can simplify and make it easier for our customers to use our platform.
Yeah.
The other big trend is actually, I don't know if anybody agrees with me or it's well agreed with yet, but what I am seeing is VR and AR.
Okay.
And so traditionally, it's really been that, I don't want to say it's the thing in the corner, but a lot of people have dismissed VR and AR as the next growth opportunity. And what we're actually seeing is the opposite. We're seeing a lot of VR developers be very successful on our platform. We're seeing them drive consistent CCU rates, and we see demand there from the players. And so I think that there are opportunities in specifically VR in the future, and as it comes to session-based VR games, that's where we're seeing a lot of success.
Yeah.
Developers are building these very small session, first-person shooter VR games, really engaging, but like I said, it's consistent, and when I say consistent, we don't see the peaks and valleys of CCU drop, like around a weekend or a specific day.
It's very stable.
We just see it stable and up and to the right.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot there that's being underestimated.
I think part of that stabilization is that if you are a VR, if VR is your type of game, which I mean, I must admit, I do find it really fun, but to be honest, I don't have the time to play games full stop at the minute. But there's a very strong community in the VR VR land, and I think that's probably why we're seeing a very. It would be interesting to see, where it's going to take us in the future as well. I think there's a lot of possibility there.
Yeah. And I just actually left another discussion, and someone made an interesting point that traditionally PC console games, we're flooded with content right now. So there's a lot of games, right? And so those games are fighting for eyeballs.
Yeah, that's true.
There aren't as many, there are many players, but more games are being generated than people have eyeball time and are going and playing those games. VR is the opposite. There is not a lot of content. So those developers aren't fighting for eyeballs. They got dedicated users who are coming in and playing their game over and over and over again. And so again, I think it's a great opportunity for developers that want to look into what is the next growth of our industry. I think it's going to be really that segment.
Yeah, awesome. So AI and VR to look out for.
Yes. And then hopefully, there's going to be the new indie game that we're all going to go play and fall in love with.
Yeah. That's the best thing about the gaming industry. You never know what's around the corner.
Correct.
So, and at the end of the day, we're all here for one reason. It's because we all love playing games.
Yes. I just want to go home and play the things that people are making. And I just want to make it easier for them to make the things.
Yeah. Giving back to the community that's giving you so many, I'm sure, thousands of hours of fun throughout your life. So.
Thousands is an understatement.
Yeah, well, millions maybe. Okay, so lots of cool things to be thinking about the future, but let's now just bring it back again to AccelByte. What's your plans, especially around AMS for 25 and 26?
Yeah, our focus is on just quality, making the best developer experience possible. The way I say it is like if you build it, well, traditionally people would say if you build it, they would come. But our industry is based on word of mouth, meaning if I give a good experience to one developer, they tell 10 friends, they tell 10 more friends, they tell 10 more friends, the thing starts to sell itself. And so we are really just hyper-focused on making sure that we're providing the best quality platform and service, listening to our customers, and improving over time. So we don't intend to go and invent anything super crazy. We're not going to innovate. Right now, we really think it's about focusing on the quality of the platform, ensuring the best developer experience possible, and that's really it. And I firmly believe if we keep focused, the industry has these ebbs and flows. As long as we keep focused and realize our goal over the next couple of years, we'll come out super successful, and we're going to help thousands of developers to make these games. And as I said earlier, we launched our shared cloud product, so many developers now can just get started for free.
Amazing.
And they just go, sign up, off to the races.
Where's the best place to do that?
AccelByte.io, they can go. There's just a button, get started for free.
Amazing.
Once they log in, we have an open source sample game that they can download, access the sample game, understand how that plugs into all the back end, and then start to take any of that sample code, integrate it directly into their game. And for us, again, it's really to show off the sophistication and the comprehensiveness of the back end. And then make sure that they can get started quickly doing whatever they need to do.
Amazing. Well, definitely I think a lot of developers should be checking it out because it sounds like you'd be daft not to.
Yep. And that's true with AMS as well. AMS is getting started for free.
Yeah.
So customers, regardless of the platform, anything that we have, they can get started for free. With AMS, I think it's like 25,000 player hours or up to 90 days. And when one of those hits, then they obviously have to convert. But get started for free, check out the platform, and give us feedback.
Awesome. Love it. Well, Rob, absolute pleasure. Thank
Always.
you. Yeah, and I look forward to continue working very closely with you guys and all the cool games you'll be working on. So
thank you so much.
Very
It's been a
excited.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.